The first thing I want to say is Amanda and Megan, I would really like copies of your papers. They just sound significant. And it makes me so proud to know that the Religious Studies Department is continuing its tradition of training scholars. Scholars for their various religious communities, scholars for society. If you've been around liberal arts education for a while, I'm sure that you know that liberal arts are rooted in freedom. The idea is that by educating ourselves, we free the mind. We see new possibilities that we perhaps have been too dense to see, or just have not experienced enough of the world to see. So liberal arts is freeing to us personally. And I want to share a couple of things about my own story to illustrate that. But I also want to make one other point, which is liberal arts are freeing for you, but they also have to be liberating for the world. I mean, we are trained to be free-thinking people so we can make a difference in the world, so that we can advocate for justice and peace in a world that is all too often unjust and warlike. My own story of liberation is intimately related to the University of Tennessee. When I was a freshman, I had kind of a clear idea of what I wanted to do, but I was reading philosophy, and I grew up in also a conservative church, and I was just floundering. I got to where I didn't really want to go to church anymore. I didn't know what to do, so I did the logical thing. I decided that what I needed to do was to take banjo lessons. And so I found a banjo teacher. I can't even remember exactly where, some music shop here in Knoxville. And it turns out that he was a religious studies graduate. So see, it is a practical degree. You can get work with a religious studies degree. So he and I would pick banjo, and then we would talk religion. He said to me, he said, "You need to go talk to Lee Humphreys." And I decided to sign up for his class called Israel's Sacred Traditions. That class blew my mind. For the first time in my life, I was introduced to the critical study of the Bible. And it really kind of freaked me out. And it excited me. So I decided to take the second quarter. And, then the next thing I knew, I was signing up for, Dave Dungan's class. I decided, well, I need to, if I'm going to understand this, I need to read it in the original language. So I took Hebrew. The next thing I knew, I had more than enough hours to be a religious studies major. It was just by accident, actually, that I became a religious studies major. And I encountered such amazing professors, such great teachers. Stan Lusby, Charlie Reynolds has a special place in my heart, because Charlie really, if I'm remembering correctly, was the first person to say to me, "Rick, you need to go to graduate school." And of course it was Lee Humphreys who pointed me to the place that, in Lee's opinion at that time, had the best Hebrew Bible program in the world. So I went to Yale, and that was a very important move in my life, because at Yale I met Sharon Watkins. And Sharon Watkins wound up preaching at the inauguration of the first African American president in the United States, Barack Obama. My wife preached there to the president and the nation and the world, and I sat right there. I was just sitting right there, just right across. People surreptitiously snapping pictures. And so University of Tennessee set me on this trajectory. That's what I'm saying. I have seen the world because UT, Department of Religious Studies, sent me in this direction. I just kept taking more and more classes, getting more and more degrees. I've got so many degrees, you just would not believe the number, the alphabet soup that comes behind my name. But one day somebody said, okay, rather than sitting out there, you come up here and you engage in conversation this way from behind the lectern rather than sitting in the classroom. This has transformed my life, but it has been an education, a liberation to me personally, that my teachers at the University of Tennessee showed me that the freedom that I found has to be put to use for the freedom of all people. That's what this degree is about. The final thing I want to say is start now, graduates, planning your regular contribution. Your regular contribution to your alma mater. It does not need to be much, but you need to have the discipline of doing, and it'll grow over the years. And it's important because what you have been given by this education, you need to pass along to others. Finally, when I came to the University of Tennessee, I came as a Neyland Scholar. So I've always told people that I owe my education to Tennessee football. They look at me, they don't really believe it, but it actually is true. And I'm just so honored that here I get to stand behind the picture of Neyland Stadium to receive this award. I am truly humbled, truly grateful. Thank you so much.